Whenever third party interest is created by way of agreement to sell or mortgage, etc., the registered consent of such interested persons shall be submitted with the application. Suppose you are going to apply for the loan and all those things, then in that case you have to go for the mortgage of your land and all those things. Okay, जनरली आपण शेतीसाठी कर्ज वगैरे घेतोय बघा, तर त्यावेळेस आपण काय करतोय, तर शेत जमीन जी आहे ती आपण एखाद्या बँकेकडे गहाण ठेवतोय, म्हणजेच त्याला काय म्हणायचं, मॉर्गेज, MORTGAGE, दॅट इज नथिंग बट दी मॉर्गेज. Okay. uh, so is there any such kind of third party is there about it's a consent also, registered, whatever registered consent is there, you have to submit along with that the application. Then after that, a certified copy of approved subdivision oblique amalgamation oblique layout of land from the concerned authority. Okay, means suppose whatever approval subdivision plan is there, that you have to provide it, or amalgamation is nothing but the आय थिंक एकत्रीकरण. ओके, जर काही समजा तुमच्याकडे दोन प्लॉट असतील, ओके, तुमच्या स्वतःच्या नावावरती दोन प्लॉट आहेत आणि त्याचं काय करायचं आहे, तुम्हाला एकत्रीकरण करायचं आहे, तर त्याच्यासाठी पण तुम्हाला काय करायला लागतंय, तर ते सर्टिफिकेट त्याचं ॲफिडेविट करून जोडायला लागणार आहे. ओके, देन in case of land leased by the government or local authorities, no objection certificate of government or such authorities shall be obtained if there is deviation from lease condition, and shall be attached to the application for the development permission in respect of such land. Okay, means wherever you are going to construct the building or structure, suppose whatever that site is there, if you are going to taken ऑन अ लीज बेसिस. ओके, जर काही समजा तुम्ही ती काही भाडे तत्वावरती वगैरे घेणार असाल, तर गव्हर्नमेंटकडून किंवा लोकल अथॉरिटीकडून घेणार असाल, तर त्यांचं नो ऑब्जेक्शन सर्टिफिकेट जे आहे ते गरजेचं राहते. ओके, तर ते नो ऑब्जेक्शन सर्टिफिकेट पण तुम्हाला त्या ॲप्लिकेशन फॉर्म बरोबर काय करायचं आहे, तर सबमिट करायचं आहे फॉर ऑब्टेनिंग दी permission, development permission as well as commencement certificate. Okay, so these are the documents are required. Then here then different plans to be submitted along with the applications. This was about the documentation, and now we are going to discuss about the plans. Okay, so here already I told you you have to provide the location plan or key plan, and generally here whatever things are there or whatever features are there about the periphery of 200 meter from your site, okay, that you have to mention in a key plan. Okay, and it should be drawn as a 1:500. Okay, uh, or yeah, maybe its scale will goes increase, okay, or maybe decrease also, because of it depends upon the size of the plot and all those things. Okay, then after that also you have to prepare the site plan. Okay, and generally site plan is drawn by 1:500 scale, and then after that in that plan you have to mention the various things such as boundaries of your plot, and then after that position of the site in relation to neighboring street. Okay, whatever road is there, from that road, if where your site is there or plot is there, you have to provide it. Then after that, name of the street, then whatever existing buildings are there in that particular plot, that also you have to mention in that site plan, as well as the position of the building and other buildings, if any, which the applicant intend to erect upon his continuous land contiguous land refer to one above in relation to. Okay, that also you have to mention it. Then uh, also you have to mention the whatever open spaces you have left. Then after that, for getting the free air circulation, free circulation of air, admission of light and access. Then after that, also you have to mention the width of the street, name of the street, then the direction of the north line relative to the plan of the building, that is nothing but the NTS, north to surrounding, that also you have to mention in site plan. Then also whatever existing features are there, such as wells, tanks, drains, pipelines, high tension lines, railway line, trees, etc. Whatever things are there in that a particular site, you have to mention in the site plan. Okay, this is whatever things we are discussing in a site plan, not only for the residential building but for other kind of building also, you have to follow the same things. Okay, whatever necessary things are there or required things are there, you have to take those things and you have to mention in the site plan. Okay, then after that, is there any existing water supply system is there or drainage line is there, then its alignment you have to show in a site plan. Okay, so by considering these things, you have to prepare the site plan. Okay, I think all of you understood how to draw the site plan and which things you have to mention in the site plan. Okay, then after that, subdivision oblique layout plan. Here generally, uh, whenever you want to go for the NA. Okay, means whatever agricultural land is there, now you want to become a non-agricultural land, that is nothing but the NA. Then in that case, you have to go for the preparation of the subdivision oblique layout plan, and it is also drawn by the 1:500. It depends upon the area of that plot. Means if it is less than 4 hectare area, okay, then you have to go for the preparation of the plan, subdivision plan or layout plan as a 1:500. And if it is oh, more than 4 hectare, then you have to go for the 1:1000 also. Okay, then in that layout plan, in that subdivision plan or layout plan, should mention the following things, maybe in that dimensions of the plot. Then after that, the location of all proposed and existing roads with their existing oblique proposed width within the land. Means whenever you are going to subdivide the land, then to provide the access to each and every plot, you have to provide the roads, or if any existing road is there, then position of that existing road or its width also you have to mention it in that layout plan or subdivision plan. Okay, then after that, location of the drains, sewers, public facilities and services, electrical lines, natural water courses, water bodies and streams, etc. These things you have to mention it, okay, in that plan. Along with that, uh, the area statement, or the total area of that site, then area utilized under roads, recreational open spaces, playgrounds, then after that development plan, uh, reservation oblique roads, schools, shoppings and other public places, along with their percentage, with reference to the total area of the site proposed to subdivide or laid out. Okay, here, along with the features, also you have to show the, or also you have to mention the how much space you are going to provide for the recreational purpose or as amenities. Okay, and uh, In that, maybe you can go for the provision of the playgrounds, then for a temple, then after that shopping centers, or other things which will be useful for the public. Okay, means whatever kind of public places you are going to left in that particular land, it's a percentage of area also you have to mention it, okay, in the subdivision plan or layout plan. Generally subdivision plan or layout plan is not required, it is not necessary whenever you are going to uh, take the permission from the uh, municipal corporation for the construction of the building. If your plot is NA, then at the time of purchasing that NA plot, whatever whoever owner is there, he will provide the layout plan or subdivision plan. Copy of that subdivision plan or layout plan, just you have to attach to the application. That's it. You don't have to draw the layout plan or subdivision plan separately for separate plots. Okay, then amalgamation plan. Okay, here amalgamation is nothing but the ekatrikaran. Okay, in case of properties comprising of two or different holding belonging to the same or different owners, provided the developer is same, then the plans for amalgamation of the holdings shall be submitted and got approved from the corporation. Means is there any required of the amalgamation? Means suppose one owner is there and on his name two properties are there, then in that case, suppose he want to develop the both the properties, and though both the properties are near to each other or side by side, then amalgamation is required. Then for that amalgamation you have to take the prior permission from the commissioner of the corporation or whatever local authority is there. From them you have to take the permission. Okay, then after that service plan. In that plan, elevation and section of private water supply, sewage disposal system, and details of building services where required by the authority shall be made available on a scale not less than 1 as to 100, and for layout 1 as to 1000. Okay, means whatever service plans are there, maybe in that electrification plan is there, sewer plan is there, okay, or furniture plan is there. Those things you have to submit. uh, you have to draw it separately by using the scale as a 1 as to 100, or sometimes we can go for the 1 as to 50 also in case of the residential building. Okay, if plot size is small, then in that case we can go for the 1 as to 50 also, because of we have to show the things in a details. That's why we are increasing the scale. Okay, then after that along with that building plan, whatever I told you in a building plan um, should be mention the various things. Okay, means maybe in that whatever uh, different units are there according to the planning. Means maybe in that uh, drawing room or whatever living room is there, then after that bedroom, then WC bath, kitchen, dining room, then a study room, then storeroom, puja room, whatever number of units are there, those units you have to mention in that building. Means whatever you are going to prepare a plan, that is nothing but the building plan. Okay, and in that building plan, you have to mention the things earlier I told you. According to that, you have to go for the provide. Means detailed sketch plan, elevation, section, then after that. Uh, Key plan, then after that site plan, then uh, uh, openings, whatever openings you are going to provide, details of openings, maybe door window schedule, then after that area statement, and pro forma 1 and title block. These things should be there in a building plan. Okay. uh, Here, uh, w- considering these things, you have to submit the uh, application to the concerned authority, and you will get the approval for the building permission as well as a commencement certificate. Okay, I think all of you understood about the after doing the application for getting the permission uh, or approval for or approval of the plan and commencement of the work. Okay, then after verification of the plan and after getting satisfaction to that concerned authority or its a team, they will provide us commencement certificate. Okay, and whatever plan is there, they will get approved. Okay, so whatever commencement certificate is there, that commencement certificate is generally valid for 4 years. Okay, but we have to renew that commencement certificate at each and every year before completion of the before end of the year. Okay, so uh, we have to take due care about that. And here, uh, whatever validity is there of the commencement certificate or building permission is there, it is valid, remain valid for 1 year. uh, it is remain valid for 4 years, but you have to uh, renew it at each and every year. But after 4 years, that validity of that commencement work or building permission will get cancelled. Then after that, once again you have to follow the same procedure, and then you have to uh, uh, obtain the commencement certificate. Okay, then here, after getting the commencement certificate, you can go for the construction, actual construction at a site. Okay, means you can go for the uh, line out, then after that excavation, and after excavation, foundation, construction of the foundation bed, foundation, then after that plinth beam and column up to the plinth level. Okay, uh, so after completion of the construction work up to the plinth level, again you have to do one application to the local authority, that is about intimation of the completion of the plinth uh, completion of the completion of the work up to the plinth level. Okay, after intimating to the local authority, they will visit to our site, and then after that they will verify the things, whatever plan is approved, according to that only we have constructed the building or structure or not, is there any deviation or not. Okay, they will check it, and after satisfaction they will provide the plinth completion certificate to us. Okay, you can see here Appendix E, form for intimation to completion of work up to the plinth level. Who is going to provide that, who is going to apply, or who is going to do the application to the municipal commissioner, uh, either owner or uh, whatever licensed architecture surveyor or supervisor is there, they will uh, do the application by using this form. Okay, or by using this format to the municipal commissioner. Okay, to municipal commissioner, whatever corporation's name is there, we have to fill here. Okay, then sir, the construction up to plinth oblique column up to plinth level has been completed in building number. Okay, whatever building number is there, then after that plot number, revenue survey number is there, city survey number, village sector number, ward number, situated at a road, street name of the road you have to mention here, in particular society. Okay, in accordance with the permission number. Okay, that permission number you will obtain on the commencement certificate. Okay, dated on which dated they have grant the permission or they have issued the commencement certificate. Okay, under my supervision and in accordance with the sanction plan. uh, Please check the completed work and permit me to proceed the rest of the work. For that purpose, you have to make one application to the municipal commissioner or whatever local authority is there. Okay. Here, signature, name and address, mobile number of the licensed engineer, architecture or surveyor has to write and date. Okay. Uh, along with the along with this application, various things we have to submit it. Okay, various documents we have to submit it. So firstly we will discuss about the documents, what documents are required for intimating the completion of the work up to the plinth level to the concerned authority. Here you can see documents required for getting the plinth completion certificate. Means along with that appendix E, you have to provide the following documents in that duly filled application form. Whatever appendix E is there, that form we have to fill properly. Okay. Then after that, architect's letter confirming the completion of the work only up to the plinth level. Okay, whatever supervisor is there, architecture is there, structural engineer is there, or engineer is there. Okay, who's confirming later or his or her, we can say. Uh, confirmation letter or undertaking, they have to submit whatever work is done up to only the plinth level, not more than the plinth level. Okay, about that undertaking they have to attach along with the application form. Then after that, undertaking from the structural engineer as well as the structural design, uh, uh, and detailed drawing you have to attach. Okay, means whatever approved plan copy is there, that also you have to attach to the application. Okay, and uh, actual drawings of the site and details. For that, you can go for the photographs. Okay, you have to capture the photographs of the uh, constructed work. Okay, and you can attach to the application form. So these things are the required uh, to obtaining the plinth certificate. Okay, doing application. Okay, and after visiting to the site by the uh, municipal commissioner or whatever his team is there. Okay, then uh, and after satisfaction, okay, they will provide us the uh, plinth completion certificate. Okay, form for in the format of appendix F, form of approval oblique disapproval of development work up to plinth level. Okay, they will provide us the plinth completion certificate in this form. Okay, uh, then after that, here another thing is there which is important, that is undertaking from the engineer or structural engineer or forwarding supervision. Okay, means whoever is there for supervision purpose, also one application has to be submitted towards the local authority and get permission for the supervision. Okay, so you can see here appendix B. Okay, 1 minute. This is the form available in municipal corporation office. So you have to take that form and you have to make the application uh, for getting uh, permission to the supervision of that particular work. Okay, so by using this format you can go for that. Then after that you have to make the application to the name of the municipal commissioner, municipal corporation, name of the city or name of the corporation you have to mention here. Then sir, I hereby certify that the development, erection, re-erection, demolition, or material alteration in oblique or building number on in plot number in block number situated at road oblique street uh, uh, city survey number shall be carried out under my supervision, and I certify that all the materials types and grade and the workmanship of the work shall be generally in accordance with the general specifications, and the work shall be carried out according to the sanctioned plan. I shall be responsible for the execution of the work in all respect. Okay, means here whoever is a supervisor, he has to submit the undertaking regarding he will concentrate keenly on the construction work, means whatever specifications are there or whatever general specifications are there or whatever rules and regulations are mentioned in the uh, uh, agreement, as well as whatever type of material uh, its a grade are there. Okay, they he or she will use that type of grade or that type of material only, and whatever workmanship is there according to the specifications, he will carry out the work. Okay, for that uh, this form you have to submit towards the municipal corporation. Okay, and then after that, after submitting the form, then they will check your documentation and all those things, whether you are eligible for doing the supervision or not. Now, what is the role of the supervisor, and what qualification is required, we are going to discuss later. Okay, so whatever qualification is there, according to that only the supervisor is required, and after satisfying or after going through the details of the documents and application form, that local authority will permit for the supervision of that particular, for that particular work. Okay, so this is the procedure for getting the uh, supervision permission from the municipal corporation. Okay.